and welcome to this week's episode of a weekly gaming news 10 and 10. This is episode 37 for the week ending December 9th, 2017. Sega has released side-scrolling beat-em-up classic Streets of Rage on Android and iOS. Released via Sega's Forever service, it is free to play with ads, or you can pay $1.99 to have ads removed. Streets of Rage was a co-op bastion, and Sega has not forgotten that, as they have included multiplayer over Wi-Fi, which works cross-platform Android and iOS. Additionally, there is support for leaderboards, cloud saves, and controllers. Capcom has announced that MegaMan 11 for PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox is coming in 2018. It will stay true to its core of 2D side-scrolling platforming with 3D visuals. It is set to be released in time for Mega Man's 30th anniversary. This is the first new Mega Man game in 7 years, and early looks are promising. Nintendo is bringing HD versions of GameCube and Wii games to Nvidia Shield in China. While initial reports indicate that the games will be emulated, descriptions on the Chinese page indicate the games are being streamed to the Nvidia Shield. Launching with the Nvidia Shield are HD remastered versions of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, the Wii version of Punch-Out, and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, with Super Mario Galaxy listed as coming soon. The available games are listed at 68 RMB or about $10 US. Square Enix announced the new Tomb Raider game via Twitter this past Thursday. There are no specifics or content released with the announcement, but Square Enix did note that they were shortening their marketing cycle, meaning we'll be getting this game at a shorter interval between announcement and release than previous iterations. With the critical success of Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider, it is no surprise that Square Enix is going back to this well. Bandai Namco has announced Soul Calibur VI for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One to be released in 2018. The last Soul Calibur game, Soul Calibur V, was released on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 5 years ago in 2012. Announced alongside a trailer during the Game Awards, the trailer showed off some potentially new gameplay mechanics, another entry in the resurgence of the fighting game genre. Overwatch's Winter Wonderland event is coming on December 12th, complete with winter-themed skins and a new arcade mode, Maze Yeti Hunt. This mode is a take on the Evolve model, in which 5 players hunt a boss, in this case 5 Maze hunting 1 Winston. Additionally, Maze Snowball Offensive is returning. Some good old light-hearted fun for the holidays in Overwatch. Hawaiian Representative Chris Lee lays out a plan for loot box legislation. Representative Lee released a YouTube video in which he details a prohibition of any game with gambling mechanisms to anyone under the age of 21, which will apply to physical and digital copies of games. He is also proposing a requirement that game publishers list the drop rates for each item, similar to what was done in China. This is in the very early stages, but with loot box abuse dominating the news, time may be running out for the free-wheeling loot boxes of today. Sony announced that they have sold 70 million PlayStation 4s from November 2013 to December 3rd of this year. These are sell-through numbers to customers, not just shipped. The last numbers we heard from Sony was 67.5 million shipped globally at the end of October. Sony did not break out PS4 and PS4 Pro in the numbers, but it had been reported by Polygon back in June that 1 in 5 PlayStation 4s sold were PlayStation 4 Pros. Sony also announced that as of December 3rd, they have sold 2 million PSVRs. This again is a sell-through number, meaning there are 2 million PSVRs in the wild. There have been 130 PSVR games released to date with an expected 150 more coming in 2018. To boost the sales, Sony has placed all PSVR sets and bundles on sale, $100 off until December 24th. Bungie cannot seem to get out of their own way. With the release of their first DLC, Curse of Osiris, it has been found that one of the achievements, the Prestige, has been locked behind the DLC. With the release of the Curse of Osiris, the level cap was raised from 300 to 330. And with that, the Prestige Nightfall and Raid have also had their level caps raised to 330, meaning if you do not have the new DLC, you will have a hard time completing the Prestige versions of these activities. Bungie weighed in stating they are looking at ways to fix the issue, but this is another in the many missteps of Destiny 2. The 4th annual Game Awards wrapped up this past Thursday with Nintendo winning big, taking home Game of the Year with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and a total of 5 awards, with Breath of the Wild taking home 3 of those. The other big winner was Cuphead, also taking home 3 awards. Join us on this week's episode of a weekly gaming news show for more detailed discussion of this year's Game Awards. And that will do it for this week's episode of a weekly gaming news 10 and 10. Before I sign off, I would like to give a mention to our sponsor, the New Challengers. If you want to get good at Street Fighter V, Injustice 2, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, or Tekken 7, the New Challengers is the place for you. With one-on-one and group coaching, match breakdowns, and more, the New Challengers will have you improve in no time. Head over to newchallengers.gg for more information and to sign up. Finally, if you want to hear more details on these stories and more, join Trinell and myself for a weekly gaming news show, live Sundays at 7 p.m. streamed on Facebook, Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube.